Hello, how everyone doing? My name is Jillian and I am the owner of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta where aftercare matters the most. And this is another video on Post Surgery Care of Atlanta LLC on the YouTube platform. I'm so excited that you're here watching this video, and today's video is going to be a part two from last Sunday. So I rephrased the title because I was just really having a hard time, like really coming up with things with the title of like, oh, my mistakes that I've learned, some of the mistakes that I've learned. And so I rephrased it to the lessons that I have learned, or at least a few of them that I have learned, that I came on top of my head, that thought would be really great for you guys to learn, to even implement into your own business, or if you're thinking about starting a business, or just just working on a job, and how um, these lessons that I have learned, a few of them, that you can actually implement into your everyday life, especially in your career or business. So, all right. So, the first one that I would say is the lesson that I am learning and have learned is embracing business relationships with people who 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 want to see each other succeed. Um, and you all probably know those people where they're only want to connect with you because you know people who's going to make their career go further, their business will go further if you introduce these particular people. And let me say, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious and being in a place where you say, okay, getting to know key people, this and that. But I will say this, that people are less likely to want to really build a relationship with you because you're only looking at from the lens of how can they help you, not being where it's a mutual helping one another. And that can be different for each person in how you can help them. Some people is just, hey, just checking in with them, seeing how everything is going. It may be where they may have an issue in their business where it's a processing issue, and you know someone that can that has a processing system that you're using, that hey, may be really great for their business, and you prefer it over, and then hey, they pick it, they actually buy the processing system, so their business is doing better. So you just now have made it where they're going to be able to make more money and make it smoother of a processing for them with their clients, organization wise. There's ways on how you can help one another. It is the only way is not just sending referrals, and there's so many different aspects of it. Checking in with people, having lunch, catching up with them. Um, you could take turns to where you say, hey, you picked up the last two lunch times, lunch meetings that we have. Hey, this time I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick up the tab. So just looking at looking at each other as a way of, how can I serve you? How can I make your business experience for your clients, for yourself, better? It just makes things a lot better. So I really um, am focusing on those relationships that are wanting to pour back into me as an individual and my business, or either one. Um, the second lesson that I have learned and continuing learning is finding ways on how I can help um, other people's business grow. Um, it kind of piggyback off number one is that I am truly learning is that it can be the smallest thing, the smallest suggestion or something really big, that I can definitely be a blessing to another business owner in how to make their business blossom better. It can be with this suggestion about social media, ways and how they can market. It can be um, It can be, hey, try a different location and actually um, having their events. So it can be different things that I'm taking initiative on how I can help business owners when I meet with them and say, hey, how can I be an assistance? Or sometimes just listening to when they're talking and picking up those things that yes, they're doing well in, but also on people who they want to meet. I remember I had a one-to-one like a week ago, about a week and a half ago, and this young lady, she's in real estate, and so she is not familiar with the Cobb Chamber. And I was like, well, hey, I'm a member of the Cobb Chamber of Commerce. Hey, I can bring you in. They're having an event going on. This would be awesome for you to come. You can meet people. I'm part of the Chamber Commerce. So this would be a great way for me to introduce you to the key people who work at the Cobb Chamber, who would definitely be a great tool for you to, if you are interested in joining the chamber, that they can actually really pinpoint and help you in how and how they can help you to grow your business. And so I have really been using the chamber as a way of bringing people in to say, hey, if you have not visited the chamber or the Cobb Chamber, that hey, I can definitely be a tool in you connecting with other people that can make your business grow in so many different capacities. And so I would say lesson number three, and the lesson learned that I've learned and continuing learning, is that business relationship should not be treated like a personal relationship. Business relationship is different from just a regular personal relationship. They're totally different. Sometimes business relationship can go personal. And what I mean by personal, not meaning romantically, but just like a friendship. Like, oh my God, we're now becoming these, great friends. Um, you all can have a great business relationship where you respect one another, you help one another, you really are really intertwining with each other on how you're helping with their business, they're helping with your business, and it's really great. But then there's a boundary. So, versus personal relationships, there are boundaries there, but it's a little bit more intertwined with, your kids, your spouse, where you live. So it's so many different levels to it, and some people that you're going to meet in business, and I have too, where they were very much like, oh no, come to my home, because their office was in their home. So they're like, oh no, come to my home and I'll have food for you, and different things, and you can meet my staff, and so with that it kind of intertwined, and oh, you can meet my husband, and you can meet the kids if they're around, and different things. So sometimes it can people business life and their personal can be so closely intertwined that it's like, oh wow, I'm getting the full, a good full snapshot of this person. But in many times, you people are not going to be inviting you to their home or to their family events or cookouts. So um, I would say definitely what I have learned is when you're meeting someone um, in a professional environment, you definitely want to respect that, respect the boundaries, that this is the first time that we're meeting. And even if you have met with them multiple times over, you want to keep that boundary of professionalism, just to just keep it at a level to where you're not offending that person, or a chance that they may offend you. So it just makes things a lot smoother, and then also it keeps that business relationship keep flourishing, because when it dives into other lanes in the personal, like, oh, I'm thinking we're all buddy buddy, it can really dampen that relationship, and then people, not saying that they won't do business with you, but it'll be back almost like, it will kind of put a strain on that relationship to where people start backing off. So definitely I have learned that lesson and continually learning that business relationship is different from personal relationship, friendships. That those are two different worlds. Sometimes it develops into a really great, awesome friendship business relationship. But even with that, whatever how you met them, I truly believe like that's gonna be the framework of your relationship. It just is. So, um, many times if you meet someone in a casual state, in casual atmosphere, and y'all kind of just kind of hit it off, and it's kind of more friendlier, like, oh yeah, we're hanging, and we have that, but then we turn out like, oh, you have a business, I have a business, and different things. But the framework of that relationship is probably going to be still going to have the base of casual, friendship like type of relationship, versus you meet someone at a chamber networking event, or at any other type of professional networking event, that the base of that relationship is going to be professional, with it. So you just have to kind of just keep that in mind, and just, and just learn. Well, that's one thing that I have learned is to, um, in remember that I met this person here, and just keep it respectful, keep it professional. When I go, make sure that that I'm on time, make sure that I am looking presentable, making sure that I have, I have my notebook, I have my planner, that I'm studying their business, so when we meet up again, that I have more questions or ways, or hey, even have some helpful suggestions to them if they ask me, that I can answer those questions, and really be a great resource to them, and not start, asking personal questions, and like, oh, are you dating? What about the dating apps? You don't want to do that. You want to just stay away from anything personal, and just keep it professional. So it just makes things a lot easier, and people will respect you more because they see that you understand that this is a professional relationship, not calling people, after a certain time, that you really try to keep it during those operational hours that are pretty standard, eight, 8 to 5, 8 to 4, around that time, nothing before or after that time, only if they say, okay, it's fine to do. But you want to really make sure that I have learned that you stay within the parameters of, um, a professional relationship. I would say the lesson number 4 that I have learned, and continuing learning, is that when I go to networking events, it's not a number game, as in how many people I need to pass out my business cards. Number one, business cards are very, very expensive. They are very, very, very expensive. So, and especially the ones that I have now, they're really nicely done. So I am very, selective on when I do give out a business card. Like if someone asks, perfectly fine. But if I'm going to a networking event where they're like, oh yeah, we just lay them all out, I would lay out just a few, because many times people will not even pick them up, and for me, I'm like, no, I will hand them out to the ones who I walk up to and talk to, and if they are interested, or if I get their card, I'll give them my business card. But I'm very selective on just passing out my business card, because number one, it's expensive. Number two, did I make a genuine connection with that person? Because if I haven't, um, not saying that you can't develop the genuine connection later on, but it is going to take longer, and it's going to require more work on on my end to really kind of capture that genuine connection with them. So, and many times that I've learned that I can go to a networking event and let's say it's like 50 people in there. Out of those 50, it may only just be one or two that I actually really make a genuine connection of like, wow, we really talked, we really communicated, we really had a really good conversation about each other's business and how, how we started and just different things of different challenges, highs and lows, our wins. And those people, you really say, okay, I'm really truly going to connect with them and really kind of keep this relationship going. And hopefully it continues. Um, Sometimes it burns, sometimes it sizzles out, sometimes it continues. But I truly have learned that um, it is a number game, as in attending different networking events. But even with that, you got to be more, you got to use wisdom. But definitely with this passing your business card out to everyone, it's like no, because really, to be honest, you're not going to talk to everyone and create this authentic, genuine connection, instant connection where it's like, oh wow, I really want to kind of follow this up. It's going to be very, very few. So the bigger the number, still going to be it's only going to be probably one or two, maybe three that you really make a significant connection with. So I've learned that I just keep my business cards in my small little pouch, and when I kind of feel that I have something, then hey, I'll give 'em my business card. Like I said before, if they ask for it, I'll definitely hand it to them. But if we haven't really made that instant connection, is it many times it just becomes a souvenir on both hearts. So lesson number 5 that I have learned and continuing learning is that learning how to listen and follow my instinct about my business and where it should go and what should I truly should be promoting during what season of time of business. Um, I used to be a long time ago where I'm just like, yeah, yeah, post surgery care of Atlanta, let's go, go, go. But there's certain there's certain aspects of my business that's actually where that is more trending in certain industries where I truly need to focus more on to really attract those clients to my business. Um, and like for example, right now, wellness, health and wellness is really, really trending now. So I am definitely, changing up the wordage of certain things in my in my social media content and my ads to where I'm really using certain words that are truly going to bring that's going to attract those type of patients or consumers to me that are more driven about wellness. So I just you really got to know. It really takes time to really not just be industry trending, focusing on that, but what should I really be focused on in my business? What are the kinks that need to be ironed out immediately? And that takes time. Learning your business, learning what is really trending, what is the hot topic, and what is one that is like, maybe I don't need to focus too much on this one, but I need to focus a lot on that. So, and that takes time, and I'm still learning that. But I have learned that following my instinct, following my intuition on what is happening in the industry of so many different industries that my business is touching has really have helped me to how to start thriving in those industries to attract those particular consumers who who I can who I can get into my business in certain aspects of services that I have. They may not quote per se need for surgery post surgical care, but some do. But they are attracted by certain keywords that would say, "Oh, she's more inclined about this." So then I need to kind of reframe and say, okay, so they will come to the business. So it's really important and that takes time. It really does. 5 years I've been in business, and I'm just now really learning about um, listening and following my intuition, listening to my business, and letting it talk to me and saying what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. Um, and I can say for the most part, since I've started doing that, I have seen success. Lesson number 6 in 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 me learning and continually learning is that, like I already said before, paying attention to the present trends and start predicting what is going to be the upcoming trend. Um, Lesson number 7, what I have learned and continue learning, is that learning that my business is different, because I'm different from any other person who is growing and running a home health surgical company. So I'm learning that the more that I'm in tune with my authenticity and my creativity, that it's going to make my business even more attractive to those particular consumers that are attracted to my business, and making it and really focusing on value based services, value based customer service, value based of how can I really make sure that you are getting things that really you weren't really thinking about, that was a necessity. Lesson number 8, it piggybacks off lesson number 7, is learning how to embrace my creativity side in my business. Many times when I first started my business, like anyone does, when so you kind of looking at other businesses that are pretty much inclined with what you're wanting to do, and so you kind of take snippets from there, snippets from here. But as time go on and as you get more comfortable in your business, and like I got more comfortable in my business, where it's now looking like me, like Jillian in the business. It's starting to look more like Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, that really represents my core values, what I believe in. And this is the part of this is the part of the season of my business where I'm really proud about Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, because it's really looking different from everyone else, and not just talking about, oh well, the services, but really it really has a authentic stance, where it's saying we are this is what we stand for, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. And I think that is the most important thing, is show us how you do it. How are you different? How are you being your authentic self? And I think that's so important. I think that's so important for each business person to understand, business owner, is that whatever what you're doing, you have to tap into what makes your business different, and how can you bring whatever authenticity, creativity that's in you out, because that is what's going to separate you from all the rest. Everyone's going to have similar business models, and depending on those industries. But when you have found when you have found not just your niche, but you have found yourself and comfortability in that, that's when the world is going to say, aha, now they're getting it. Now we really know who they are, how they are, what they do, and how they do it. Um, Lesson number 9, what I have learned and continue learning is learning the art of just focusing on my business, focusing on the kinks, focusing on the great things, the advantages of my business and the disadvantages of my business, to smooth them out, and not focusing on pleasing the world or pleasing people in the world. Because I think for me, well, I know for me that is that many times when I was so focusing on, people driven on, well, are they gonna like this? Are they gonna like that? It really start blocking the creativity, start blocking, um, really, really being able to find a flow in my business, to where saying that, and that's really getting the understanding that everyone is not going to like Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. It's not going to speak to everyone, but as long as I am learning and mastering the art of focusing on my business, the advantages and the disadvantages, I'm going to smooth out whatever what needs to be, so those people who are for Post Surgery Care of Atlanta will see us and will come to us and be very happy with the services. Because it can just be so exhausting when you're so focusing on trying to attract everyone, and really getting the realistic of saying, I'm not going to get everyone. I'm not. And the thing is, and I don't want everyone. And I think that's when you really get into that lane of freedom, is when you have made the realization, I don't want everyone. I only want the people who are called to Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. I really do. Um, and it's such a freedom, because now I can create, cultivate all the wonderful things, bring in the people who are meant to be a part of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. If it's nursing, if it's writing, if it's um, um, you know, naturopathy, what all the people who I would love to bring into, it's I'm only one people who have been called in to provide these great services, um, to share their gift with the patients who are going into surgery. Lesson number 10 that I have learned and continue learning, and it's so crucial in the growth and in the expansion of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, is setting boundaries around my business. Um, and what I mean by setting boundaries around my business, meaning that having an end to the beginning, having understanding who fits in the mode of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta and who doesn't. Understanding that there are policies and procedures that me, as a care practitioner of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta and the owner, that I have to enforce the policies and the procedures of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, to uphold the respect that I want every person to respect of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. Um, Piggyback off lesson number 11, is the core values that set the boundaries in place for protecting and sustaining the integrity of the company. Um, that is such an important thing that I'm so glad that I have learned and continually will be learning how the core values of my personal life and bringing those into my business is going to protect and to sustain the integrity of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. There's so many different things going on in the world and in the world of business where people are doing things and saying things, and people are asking of me to do, and the answer is no. And I stand flat footed on it, because the 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 integrity has to be protected and it has to be sustained. And that begins and ends with me, because I'm the owner of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. So, and also the care practitioner. So it's so important, um, for you all out here who have businesses, or you have a business, or you're working, um, in with a company, that you hold the integrity, and hopefully that you are working with a business that understands that integrity is all that you have, is all that you have, and the core values of what you stand on, and you are willing and ready to say no. It's not all about the yes, it's about, are you willing and are you ready to say no? And you are not concerned with their emotions of how they're going to respond or how they're going to react. It does not matter. And it's not about, you have to get unprofessional. But you have to stay in your ground. You have to stay in your ground, because it's all in protecting the integrity of your business, because that's all that I have, and as an individual and as a business owner. um, the last one, lesson number 12, is not being persuaded to do anything in my business that does not agree with my spirit woman. um, and that ties into number 10 and number 11 lesson, is that if something doesn't feel right, I will not do it. um, and that's one thing that I have truly learned and continually have to learn, the reminder that all money is not good money, and everyone cannot be a part of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, and I have to be ready and willing to make that stance, and to let it be known that, um, that service would not be provided here. um, Whoever who I partner up with, they will be, have the same similar core values as I do. Um, Definitely serving my patients, or if I'm serving or anyone else's patient. Um, so it is so important, um, to have a strong disposition about that regardless of whoever the person is, because many times there will be people who are very high up and who have a lot of money, they have a lot of influence, they know the people who you want to get in with, but you have to trust your God, like I trust my God, that whatever is for me is going to happen, and I don't have to do anything out of order, out of line, for me to get that, because I want to be able to where I can look myself in the mirror, look at my patients, look at my partners who I work with, um, in the face, and have peace about it. The peace of God always have to be the first thing that comes into my mind. Will I be able to be okay with making this decision, doing this? Will I be okay? Can I look myself in the mirror? And so, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I wanted just to give you all just a few lessons that I truly have learned the past 5 years of being in business, and believing there's so many others, but these are the ones that I really wanted to pinpoint and to help you all who are in business, who are just working professionals, who are thinking about going into business, even if you want to apply this to personal, that is so important to allow your mistakes be your teacher, so you can become a better, wiser individual as a whole, as is personal, in your personal life, in your professional life, in family life, that you have the peace of God with you always, to know that you can always look yourself in the mirror and say, we did good today. I'm proud. I'm proud that we were able to say no, and I'm proud that we were able to say yes. And I'm also proud that we were able to say, well, let me think about that and I'll get back with you. And not feel that you have to rush and give it 24 hours. If you need 48 hours, or you need 72 hours, or you need a week, that you're willing to give yourself that time to do that. And that's one thing, that's truly what I've truly have learned being in business for the last 5 years, is that my ability to not be moved of other people's hasty spirit is going to be and is my saving grace, is my protection, um, for me to achieve the highest level of success in my business, in personal, in family, in finances. So I hope you all enjoyed this video tonight, and if you have any questions, and if you all have any lessons that you want to drop down in the comment box, please do. I'll definitely be checking out those. And if you want to definitely schedule a virtual consultation because you're having an upcoming surgery, or you're thinking about having surgery, definitely register book a virtual consultation. The website is www.postsurgeryatlanta.org. You can definitely, on the YouTube channel, you should be able to click on the website link, and you'll be able to go directly to the website to look at all the services that Post Surgery Care of Atlanta offer. And you can click on where it says make an appointment, and then that's where you can go and you will see all the services and the pricings of them. So I thank you all. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I really wanted to take time to give you all a few of the lessons that I have learned and continue learning for the next 5 years and beyond. So you all have a blessed day, and I will see you all next time.